Good morning, everyone. How are you today? Welcome to day 3. I hope everyone had a wonderful dinner last night. We went into Kilwins and ordered 20 ice cream cones on the way home, and it was wonderful. So if you get a chance to go over there, please stop by Kilwins. They have great chocolate candies and ice creams, and we all partook of that. So my name is Ernie Feirer, and I'm the Senior Vice President of the Carrier and MGA practice at ReSource Pro. And today, we're going to walk you through a continuum of the transformation process, digital transformation. What are the components of that continuum that many of us have gone through as we put systems in place? It starts with the strategy and selection, then the process of implementing that selected system, and then we have to maintain and optimize that system, and then the rubber finally has to hit the road, and that's where there's operations execution. At ReSource Pro, we provide services throughout that continuum, but let's take a little deeper dive into each piece of that continuum. It kind of starts at the front end with what is our business strategy, what is our technology strategy, what is going to be our operating model for our business. We got to look and see who are the vendors out there in the MGA space, in the carrier space. There's different offerings. Which is the best fit for our need? How do we select that vendor? And that's kind of the front end of the process. And then we move into, okay, now we're going to actually put this system in place, and it goes into system implementation, okay? We decided on the piece of software that we're going to use for our core system, and now we need to find an SI partner probably to help us work through implementing that system, clearly defining the requirements and what customization that is required to implement that system. Then I have to make sure I've got my testing lined up, my training, and then comes the day of launch. We launch, and now we move into maintenance and optimization. Business as usual. The system is up. Has it been QA'd? Do we have access to all of the third-party applications that we need to conduct our business? Is there a need for some process redesign? Do I need some custom development? When the rubber hits the road, typically there's changes involved. And the last part of that transformation continuum is then operations execution. Now I need to train the people that are going to be sitting in the seats. I need to make sure that I have all of my procedures documented as I roll that out. I need to make sure that I have alignment on my business team. And last but not least, I want to make sure that there's quality control on everything that I've put in place. So today, we have a number of presentations and presenters that are going to walk through the different steps in this continuum. When it comes to the ReSource Pro offerings in each one of these areas, we have consulting and transformation services to help you in that strategy and selection process. When it comes to system implementation, we have partners with companies like Yovant and Propellant with SIs. We have a rate quote buying system in MIS. And we announced just recently that we've added a leader of our tech managed services. And you guys will be today, Paul Notcan will be presenting. Then it comes to maintenance and optimization, and that's once again where our MIS services provide a full array of capabilities around maintaining that system. Helix is our retail managed services platform. And you'll hear today a little bit about the compliance and hear from one of our customers on the compliance side of the house. And the last step in that digital transformation continuum is really operations execution. And I may need to speak louder because I'm competing with next door. But, yeah, we got the base. This will be part of the 80s celebration later today, so stay tuned for that. BPM, business process management, then premium audit processes and processes like inspections are all part of that operations execution piece. So to start today on the strategy and selection piece, Meredith Barn-Cooks, who's one of the partners in our advisory services, with our esteemed guest, William Steenbergen, from co-founder and CTO of Federato, will be our session really focused on the whole strategy and selection component of this continuum. We'll also have a presentation by Neville Moses. He's the Chief Business Officer at Clover Specialty. He'll be speaking about the emerging and unprecedented growth that we have in E&S. So it's a pleasure to have Neville also presenting with us today. And then we'll move on to that second point in the continuum. And here we'll have Chris George, who's our Managing Director of MIS, Zenobia Hasty, who is our Senior Manager as part of the MIS organization. And we also have Terry Stevens, who's President of IQ, and they'll talk about some of the challenges in unlocking the power of a rapid development of introducing a rate quote bind policy system. Then we're going to jump to the end of the continuum. So we'll have a conversation about premium leakage and dirty data. That will be moderated by our own Fred Lowry, who recently joined ReSource Pro. And then we'll have Dana Blaus, Jason Fox, and Matt Zender. Dana Blaus from Builders Insurance Group, and then Jason Fox, who comes to us from Copperpoint. And last but not least is Matt Zender, and he's with AmTrust Group. So we'll have a lively panel around the whole area of premium leakage, and that will be one of the conversations as part of the operations execution chevron. And also, as part of maintenance and optimization, we'll have a presentation by Joyce King, who comes from our compliance business at ReSource Pro, and it's a pleasure to have Krista Rappaport, who's with Gonzalez, Taplin, and PA. She's a strategic law partner, so we'll be talking and digging in a little on the compliance execution part of maintenance and optimization. And then I had mentioned Paul Naquin, SVP and General Manager. I almost had it, Paul. I know. But Paul will be on a panel, leading and moderating a panel that includes Sam McGuckin, the CEO of Jovant, and Jason McHugh, who's a founding partner of Propellant. These are two of our SI partners that we work with today, and they'll be talking a little bit about that maintenance and optimization process and give you ideas how to make your applications get to that maturity stage in an accelerated approach. That will be this afternoon. And once again, all of these points in the chevrons within our services that are provided by ReSource Pro. The last thing that we wanted to encourage, one of the important components of our business is the research that we do. We can't do that research without your help and support. So, and what, as an incentive, you'll do a 5 to 7 minute survey, and then we will send you a $20 gift card, because it's really important to have your insights as we develop these research deliverables. So please encourage you to participate in that. With that, what I'm going to do is pass the baton to Meredith and William for our first session.